Welcome back everyone, and it's time to go balls deep. And in this video we are going to cover the complete backstory of the number 2 hero Hawks, explaining his role in My Hero Academia and how he became who he is. Hawks is pretty popular in the fandom, and I think I know why. I mean, come on, I can't be the only one that knows his lavish hair in the latest episode. My dude must be using herbal essences. That shit makes you smell good and get the women's. Forget it, I'm gonna say it. He's sexy as fuck. Now, if you don't read the My Hero Academia manga, this video will contain spoilers, so please be aware before I start. However, if you want to begin reading after season 4, you're only 60 or so chapters behind. You can start reading at chapter 186 and join our community where we talk about the manga on a weekly basis with balls deep prediction magic with analysis. Therefore, be sure to hit the notification button on the channel. So let's start with the little background about Hawks, also known by his actual name Keigo Takami, in which the name Kei means disclose, open or say, Go means enlightenment or understanding, and his surname contains his hero name Hawk itself, which in Japanese is Taka. Mi means see, visible or idea. Now Horikoshi, the creator of My Hero Academia, he puts a lot of metaphors in the names of his characters. Keigo Takami is no different, in which his name personifies his role as a spy, along with reaching his goal of freedom, which can only be done through understanding each other. He mentions in multiple chapters, even to Twice, who is a villain, and Endeavor, who is a hero, that he wants to fly the skies freely, which highlights his character that he sees no prejudice or judgment between anyone. Everyone wants to be free through understanding one another. Hawk's design is inspired by Takahiro, a character from Omagadoki Zoo, one of Horikoshi's previous works. He actually wanted to implement Takahiro into My Hero Academia as Hawks, just as he did with Owabami or Kugo Sakamata. Yes, I butchered all of these words. I'm sorry guys, my Japanese is awful. I know you're cringing and you're about to smash that dislike button. Please don't smash that shit.
I ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine.
Anyway, this plan to introduce Takahiro as Hawks was discarded in favor of his new design. And as I said, we all know why. In Hawk's childhood, he was born on a historically poor island, Kyosha Fukuoka. Bruh, I'm sorry guys, oh my god. Kyosha Fukuoka. He was born in this city. Like, this place wasn't just poor, we're talking dirt broke, where there was no hope for nobody. It was the slums where even kids did anything to get by. Okay, maybe I'm exaggerating just a little, but in the flashbacks, Hawk's childhood home was shown to be neglected, dirty, broken glass and sharp needles or drugs all around the place. This resulted in Hawks becoming a quiet and introverted child. However, it seems like he had a keen interest in heroes, as one of his only possessions was a toy of Endeavor. This is important foreshadowing to his life. We will explain why in another video that's upcoming, so please can you smash that notification button on the channel to help support us, and let's get to at least, I'd say 7,500 to maybe 10,000 likes, and this will tell me that you want this video. So at some point as a boy, Hawks, at the age of 6 or so, due to him being born with an amazing quirk, he managed to swiftly save the lives of many people from a high-speed car accident. Now guys, you really need to understand why we keep saying that Hawks is the Itachi of My Hero Academia, because of this epic moment of him being just a boy with no training or mentor or anything, saving a crowd in such a quick manner. It was a big deal, as it brought the attention of the Hero Public Safety Commission, who deemed him as a talented savior and decided to personally take him on and train him as a hero, where they offered him and his family full financial support. This agenda by the Hero Commission of heavily influencing strong quirk children as heroes is showcased throughout the series. For example, Bakugo, Todoroki and Momo shared this parallel with Hawks. However, with Hawks it was a bit different. Instead of introducing him to high-level training institutions and schools like UA High, the Hero Commission personally took responsibility in Hawks' training. When we say training, we are talking about Anbu level shit, fam. If we are using Naruto as a baseline, think of the Hero Commission as Danzo or Root. In chapter 258, it was stated that the commission drilled interpersonal skills into Hawks from a young age, so he could master the art of deception and infiltration. Remember, our boy wasn't much of a talker to begin with. Hawks was perfect for this because because it's like he started with an empty slate when it came to habits of communication. So, after all of this balls deep training at the age of 18, Hawks started his own hero agency, and within a half a year, Hawks reached the ranks of top 10 of the Hero Billboard chart JP, which made him the youngest and fastest hero to ever do this. 4 years or so later, at the age of 22, Hawks reached the number 3 spot on the Pro Hero rankings, just behind All Might and Endeavor, the people he used to idolize as a kid. Now, after All Might's retirement, in My Hero Academia Season 4, Episode 24, as you saw, he even climbed to the 2nd spot. Now, one of My Hero Academia's current editors, Yoritomi, he explained that Hawks' backstory is based on Lionel Messi's childhood. He told the interviewer, "You might be familiar with the overseas soccer player Lionel Messi, but his backstory is that at a young age, he was scouted by Barcelona and joined. His father had lost his job and couldn't afford the hormone medical treatment Messi needed for his illness, but thanks to his talent for soccer, Barcelona agreed to cover the medical expenses for him. In exchange for receiving that money, Messi had to agree to live in Spain and only play soccer from a very young age. During the World Cup, when Horikoshi was informed of Lionel Messi's backstory, the next few chapters, Hawks was created with a similar story. In Hawks' case, it's the Hero Association and police force that make his expenses and train him in return for him to become a hero that does their bidding. Hawks is also a prodigy with an amazing ability that helps change the industry just like Messi." Moving on, before Hawks grabbed the 2nd ranked spot amongst the pro heroes, Hawks was on a long-term and specific mission to extract as much as information he can get from the League of Villains. Hawks went even as far to take on Tokoyami as an intern with the motive to gain more information about the event that took place between the League of Villains and Class A. He also picked Tokoyami because he placed 3rd on the Yuhei Sports Festival, and I guess at the time, Hawks was also 3rd place in the rankings, along with the fact that both of them are bird-like humanoids, so he possibly felt a connection towards him. I mean, that shit makes sense. If you both have the same sort of quirk, why wouldn't you just train the dude? Now, during Tokoyami's internship, Hawks sorted out shit so quickly to the point there was nothing for Tokoyami to help as he couldn't keep up. The only interest Hawks really showed towards Tokoyami at this point was information regarding the league. But guys, even though Hawks and Tokoyami didn't bond a strong relationship then and there, they built the foundation of their own All Might Deku connection, as Tokoyami actually decided to return working under Hawk for his hero work study, as you know. However, this time our bird boy, he managed to keep up, impressing Hawks to the point where he took Tokoyami for a flight over the city. Now this was some Gohan Videl type of shit before he became a pussy after marrying her. Hey, what, Gon? You mad at me for saying that?
Hey! No! Stop! Just calm down! Don't do it!
Seriously though, Hawks actually complimented Tokoyami but advised him to improve on his strength, which was the ability to take flights like birds do. My man was like, "Be free like a bird, my boy, like I do." And because of this, Tokoyami developed his Black Fallen Angel super move, which you saw in the movie Heroes Rising, because some of you that don't read the manga were like,
Hey yo, what the fuck?
But coming back to Hawks' story, after the madness that took place in Kamino and the retirement of All Might, the Hero Public Safety Commission gave Hawks his new mission to become a double agent and infiltrate the League of Villains. Guys, if you remember, in chapter 95, the attack on Kamino occurred, which caused a lot of public outcry and concern about the League of Villains on what they are capable of. This affected the reputation of heroes and the commission for the failure of making a threat become this huge. So they chose Hawks because he has demonstrated great negotiation skills and intelligence. Hawks has sharp eyes and ears. The commission feels as though they jumped the gun in the Kamino incident due to the lack of intelligence, which results in their decision of needing a hero that is a spy. Now, although Hawks had accepted the role given to him by the commission, it seemed as though he personally felt reluctant and against his own moral code with the way the commission was forcing him to do whatever it took to get the job done. The commission goes as far to say that he has to sacrifice any amount of people and he shouldn't worry about that. So Hawks ends up agreeing to corrupt himself taking on the job as long as it puts everyone else at ease. Hawks dreams of a society in which heroes have more free time instead of feeling subjected to oversee and hold others accountable. Either way, Hawks proceeded with his covert operation and managed to get a hold of Darby, where he requested to join the league to meet their boss. However, they would not allow him to meet Shigaraki till he proved himself truly a traitor of the heroes. So to test Hawks' loyalty, Darby asked him to bring a random hero to a specific location with Hai and Nomu, and Hawks, believing there would be be no better job for someone than the #1 idol Endeavor. He fills him in on the new information about Nomu, but leaving out any affiliation he has with the League or even his secret mission. Now, Darby, being the villain that he is and also not trusting Hawks completely, he gets to heighten Nomu to jump Hawks and the other hero he was meeting instead. Endeavor ends up beating it but sustains some pretty bad injuries. Hawks felt guilty but continued to hide his secret to keep his mission going. This leads to the event of Hawks meeting Darby, where he confronts him about the change of plans, where Darby's like, listen boy, I don't need to follow any rules and I don't trust you yet. Now Darby even suspects that Hawks was saving people and made it harder for the Nomi to win, so he has to prove yet again that he is a traitor to the heroes. This leads up to the event where Darby requests Hawks to kill a hero over the phone to prove that he's evil. So to comply and gain the trust of the League, Hawks meets up with Best Jeanist in his house, supposedly going as far to kill him, as later Jeanist goes missing. And remember, Jeanist was weaker because of what All For One did to him as he bodied him, so it makes sense that Hawks maybe killed him to prove that, look, I am an evil person. Hawks shows Jeanist's dead body to Darby, but Darby cannot confirm if it's actually him, but says either way, you killed an innocent person to prove your loyalty to me. At this point, we don't know if Hawks actually killed Best Jeanist or collaborated with him to make it appear that way. So this was Hawks' way into the League. From then on, he carried his secret mission on as a spy amongst the villains. Now, as I mentioned before, Hawks was born with a high level quirk, which not makes him so talented and sexy, but it also makes him a great spy, because in chapter 187, he said he can feel the vibrations in the air, and through them, this gives him the ability to sense people's locations similar to echolocation. This is why when Hai and Nomu Hood invaded and caused so much havoc, Hawks' quirk split into multiple feathers and direction to save as many people as possible. I mean, look at the Hood situation. With one single feather, my man is carrying a full-size human being. Now, although this is Japan, imagine if he tried it in a place where most people were obese. USA.
Bada bop boom pow.
But on top of that, despite the training he received as a child, the ability he has called vocal espionage, mentioned in chapter 245, it allows Hawks to use one of his feathers to distinguish sound from the minute it changes in the air, allowing him to decode conversations and vocal information from sensing the vibrations. Especially after leaving the room or increasing the distance, this technique makes him a dangerous spy, as he did this every time he met the League or Liberation Army. He then admitted to twice in chapter 264, although he had bugs on him, he also has the ability to send this information and messages via code. I mean, what can this guy not do? He's perfect just like Itachi. This is why the Hero Commission was basically salivating when they saw Hawks as a kid, because they saw the potential in him, just like Orochimaru saw in Itachi as a kid. With all the information he gathered over time, Hawks was able to understand the infrastructure and plans of the League of Villains, along with witnessing the alliance with the Paranormal Liberation Front. With that, Hawks realized how big of a threat the League is, and regretted that they weren't dealt with sooner. It didn't make things easier for him knowing how powerful everyone quirks had become, especially twice. He even found out that Shigaraki was receiving a quirk that would allow him to be at All For One's power level, and this results in him thinking if the heroes do not do anything or take the first step, the villains will definitely win the war and the heroes would lose control of the country. He's that important to the system. So in chapter 243, we find out Hawks was bugged by Skeptic, a member of the Liberation Front, who puts micro devices in Hawks' wings to monitor the hero's activities along with what he has been doing. But guess what? Our boy Hawks was trained for these type of situations. He already knew that his conversations and interactions would be monitored, so he had pre-planned by informing his superiors that he would be communicating in code and metaphors, just as he did with helping Endeavor by giving him a book, and Endeavor figured out what he was trying to say. Hawks gives away the location of the hideout and pretty much every important detail about the League's plan. Without this, the heroes, no, I mean the whole world and country, would possibly be under the palms of Shigaraki. Yes, pun intended. The information Hawks gives as a spy is regarding Twice's quirk and how it will be used on the members such as the Doctor. That's why they knew he would be a clone. Their secret hideouts in the mountain, that's how they located Shigaraki. The Doctor stealing all the quirks, that's why he's the culprit. He told them about their meeting rooms, as well as Shigaraki's experiment. Pretty much everything. Without Hawks, the heroes would lose. This man basically saved the whole country with his actions, which is why he's so popular with the fandom. And now the Hero Commission might sell him out, knowing that, oh my god, this guy might have killed Best Jeanist. What if he did? They're just gonna sell him out and then he's gonna be exactly like Itachi. In doing doing all of this, Hawks had to compromise his morality by lying and manipulating the people around him, including his friends and enemy alike. Along with that, even after realizing that Twice was a good-natured human being but had mental issues where he needed support in his recovery, right? Hawks took advantage of him and his problems to achieve his goals. So he literally dyed his wings red, and maybe that's why Horikoshi is inspired from that. Maybe he made it that specific color because he's a spy and he was a hero. Now he's evil. Oh my god, I don't know. Maybe I'm going a bit too bold sleep here. So obviously, Hawks done this for the greater good, and I guess in his perspective, along with the hero commissions, the end justifies the means, right? And even if Hawks did kill Best Genius, at the end of the day, he saved countless lives and the whole country. So that's pretty much everything you need to know about his character. Now, as I said, we will cover the chapters regarding the deeper message of him, so please can you smash the notification button to be aware of that video, and I hope we made everything a bit more clear for you. Follow us on Twitter or Instagram for behind the scenes, and I'll see you guys next time.